Professor Siddharth, we often have conversations. I've lost count of how many times we've discussed, the space sector and artificial intelligence and this and that. There is an opportunity here for young Indian entrepreneurs to become world leaders in invention, in application and economies of scale, which will make this an economic driver, because a pure environment driver is difficult to pitch. It has to make economic sense.
That's correct. I'm going to extend on this, Rishabhji. It's not only solar. Solar has its limitation because it talks about energy-intensive society. And limitation means ultimately there will be a problem in disposing of all of those type of solar cells and its equipment after 10, 15 years of time. You'll be surprised to know that the Americans are not going to be disposing anything associated with solar in their own country. China will go on to do that for them. This is a contract with them. So what the opportunity basically lies in creating a holistic energy system, which will go on to include biomass, which will go on to include ethanol, which will go on to include even all the forms of electricity generation that can be decentralized. For example, you have to ultimately deal with taking out distributaries from the rivers, and these distributaries will go on to serve two purposes. The first purpose is that they will go on to lower the level of the floods in the country.
Yeah, I'm specifically talking about emissions, sir, because I know there are environment, plastics and all these things. Plastics also come from, incidentally, petrochemicals. But on emissions particularly, what do we tell young people out there who feel the pain, who are seeing the smoke in Delhi and are seeing their parents coughing, that what are the entrepreneurial solutions? I'm not saying government, NGO. What are the entrepreneurial solutions before I come to what government needs to do?
The entrepreneurial solutions are that there are so many ways to prevent pollution. That is with respect to plants, the germination of the plants. There are so many ways of generating electricity and energy. There are so many ways by way of which you can go on to adopt minimalistic living. And as you can go on to talk about, as Kavita has talked about, education. Environmental education, environmental ethics.
Environmental education has been going on since, before I was in school. We all told that, don't take a shower for more than these minutes and don't leave the water running. That's not achieving much, unfortunately. It's about converting these into economic opportunities, because without economic opportunity, it doesn't make sense. Now, I point out to you once again, when we grew up, we went to Diwali melas or some other mela and we used to eat our chaat in a plate made of pattas. Now, a German company has patented this technology and they're calling it a huge game changer. So, these are the ironies of the country we live in, and then therefore lie the economic opportunities. Professor Siddharth, now we have enough entrepreneurs in this country who can do this for us. Where is the intervention that is required at the national strategic level? I can only think of lithium, the wafers that Amod has pointed out, that if we make the wafers here at scale, it will become better. Where is the intervention we need at the strategic level?
At strategic level, you have to develop your relationship better with Bolivia, from where you can go on to get a good amount of lithium to begin with. That's one. The second part is you have to have an alliance with Brazil so that you can go on to know how exactly you can go on to have ethanol and a conversion of it into a sugar complex that will go on to comprise of bagasse, that will go on to comprise of alcohol, that will go on to comprise of everything associated with it. It's going to be sugar complex. The third intervention will be in the form of a technology and also the simplification of the process where any imagination is going to be converted into an entrepreneurial activity. Now that requires you opening of a completely different cell where a single point clearance can be given to any entrepreneur whose imagination is running very high. And to capital, you have to have a system of financing in this case where you can go on to invite people who are going to be having a good amount of a technology intervention, in this case from Australia, that is with respect to sugar, with solar energy, that is from China itself, maybe United States in this case, so that the job goes on to become much more easy. And thereafter, the design of the engines and the design of decentralized furnaces or decentralized energy generation, which can go to ease this process.
I'm going to take another leap of imagination and say that we can put equal energy. We have a very, very big country. And if we try to find lithium here, maybe we could find it if we have to try. So we need some geologists to jump in to try to find the lithium here in India. So you can make those lithium ion batteries. Maybe we need to have the research into solid state or lithium replacement batteries that don't need cobalt or lithium, at least beginning with cobalt, which is the most expensive part of a lithium battery that incidentally mostly comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo. So let us not kid ourselves on who has caused the problem. India didn't cause the problem, okay? The Brits did, the Americans did, and the Chinese are. Now, just because they are mass murderers doesn't mean we should become ones also. The solution lies at two levels. The solution lies in unleashing the power of Team India to provide economies of scale to make this economic sense. The reason you and I have LED bulbs in our houses, in fact, everywhere in my studio is all LED lights now. That's an LED panel behind me. The reason it's all LED is because it is cheaper, more power efficient, more cost effective, lasts longer. So there's an economic argument to it. That's the solution. Government of India and Niti Aayog and all these grand bodies, they need to solve the strategic problems. Where is the lithium in India? Why do we find it? How do we ensure that silicon chips are being manufactured here in India? What do we do with our thorium reserves? What in the end do we do to provide the raw material for the photovoltaic panels, which need to be manufactured, not just assembled here in India? Big difference. And that's the role of government. If we get these balances right, the future of saving the world will lie in India when the past of polluting the world lied in our colonial masters.